Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be kind of more like a cozy video. I want to recommend you guys, since we're like already kind of the middle of October, I wanted to recommend some of my favorite like fall reads that just kind of hit those cozy vibes that you're looking for in the fall time. So yeah, this is just gonna be a cozy, sweet fall recommendation video. But I also wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. So I know in my community posts here on YouTube, I had done like a whole poll about like what video idea should I do next, like what long-term video. And one of the options was like talking about the Wingfeather saga and some not so subtle beef that I have with that series and a little bit with the author. So that ended up winning, and I am still somewhat working on that video, but right now I'm kind of feeling like putting a pause on it because right now just a lot of stuff is going on in my life. And I also was just kind of like looking at my notes for that video, and I was just like, I feel like a lot of it is just kind of more, I don't know, like kind of negative. And obviously I know that like having beef with something often is kind of more of a negative connotation. So I don't know. I'm not saying that I'm quitting on the video, but I'm kind of putting a pause on it right now, especially because like I feel like it's kind of taking up a lot of my like brain cells to just kind of like write notes and like try to remember stuff about the series, because obviously I wasn't gonna reread the series or anything. So I was like trying to like look up, you know, stuff to refresh my memory, and I was just like, I don't know, I'm just not really feeling as positive about it. I may still go forward with it, but for right now, I just kind of want to get back to the types of videos that I normally have done on this channel, which is for the most part like reading videos or just random stuff like this, like recommending fall books that doesn't really take a lot of brain power. It's just I turn on my camera and boop, I go along. So that's just kind of what I wanted to do today, was just relax and also just, you know, because a lot of stuff is happening in my life right now. So yeah, so I appreciate, you know, prayers and stuff about that. Not that it's like bad, it's just I feel like just a lot of stuff is just piling on, and I'm just like, Jesus, I need your help. So that would be much appreciated. So anyway, I'm just gonna do just a sweet fall book recommendation video. I also wanted to show you guys, I did a video about it on my Instagram that you can go and see, but I did a video on my Instagram about making a book sleeve of my own, which it's fall themed. So I had some scrap fabric lying around that's like this cute fall themed. Well, actually my mom gave me this because she just had it. She was using it kind of as like a little decorative like table runner thing, but then it was starting to kind of like unravel a bit and it was kind of looking a little threadbare. And so I was like, maybe I can just turn it into a, you know, book sleeve. And then I have this pretty kind of blue gingham look, and I just love how that looks, or kind of more plaid, I guess, but yeah. And then I have this really cool button. I've been saving this for years. So I got this is made of deer antler, and I've been saving it for quite some time. I got it at a Main Street Arts Festival in Fort Worth, and I've been saving it for such a long time, and I finally found a use for it. It goes with the fall theme such a good way. And then I also have these cute little kind of, hopefully you guys can see it, these cute little buttons. Like these kind of reddish ones are made of wood. This one is made of like coconut. Same thing with this one. But yeah, I just love it because it also has a little pocket on the front, so I can put like, you can put like annotation supplies or like a bookmark in there. And then, yeah, so basically it's just to kind of show you how it works. Spoiler alert for one of the books I'm going to recommend. Oh wait, I'm putting it in backwards. Hold on. Here we go. And it can, as you can see, it's pretty big and kind of chunky, so it can fit quite a few books in here actually, and like some big books as well. And you just kind of, yay. Which I'm gonna link my Etsy shop down below, because I have an Etsy shop and I actually have, not with this exact fabric or even design really, but like I have book sleeves that I've made that are like cloth like this. They have like a lining, and I have like 3 of them in my shop right now. I need to make some more to kind of have a more diverse selection, but I definitely have some that are of this. I would say like the design is similar. Like obviously it has like the, you know, the lining fabric, the button closure with the elastic, and like the pocket on the side on the front. But obviously I don't have any that are like fall themed really yet, but I'm thinking of making some fall and Christmas ones. So let me know if you would buy some of that. But yeah, I have like 3 that are for sale in my Etsy shop. So, and I also have crocheted ones as well if you're not really interested in one that's made of fabric. But yeah, those are my book sleeves. Also, let me introduce you to my little Henrietta the Hedgehog. No, wait, not Henrietta. What did I name you? Naomi. Just one of those cute little Palm Pals. I know how a lot of people collect jelly cats, but I like the little Palm Pals. I made her a little pumpkin hat. Little bag with a mushroom. She's even got like little vest on, and then she's got this cool like Lord of the Rings style little cloak. So yes, that is how I decorate my shelves. Oh yes, and I also have this little guy. It's a little dog. It's got a hood and a little bag, the mushroom, and a little, what is that? It's an acorn. It's a wooden acorn, but you know, anyway. All right, so now for the book recommendations. So I kind of have my book recommendations like organized here in order of like different vibes, basically. So first of all, I have my kind of cozy fairy tale, just super cozy, like not really very high stakes, but just my favorite kind of like cozy fairy tale retellings. So obviously we have The Rose Gate by Hanna Sandvig. Now this does not take place in fall. It takes place in like late summer that's kind of going into fall, but it does, I personally feel like it hits the vibes. I feel like all of her books, if you've been on this channel for any amount of time, you'll know I love Hanna Sandvig and her books. And I don't know if I can't remember if they necessarily always like at any point take place during the autumn necessarily, but they definitely hit the cozy vibes that you're looking for. And I feel like they're good for like year round. So I definitely recommend these for that like cozy fall itch, even though the books don't really always take place during the fall, you know? So yes, let me see. Which one should I do next? All right. So this one, Once Upon an Apple by Gabrielle Landi. I absolutely love this book and this series. I need to collect the rest of them because they're all perfect for like those cozy fall and winter vibes. I don't know. I feel like they could also work for year round, but this one in particular is like perfect for fall. This is the first book in the Gallimere Chronicles, and kind of similar to Hannah, Gabrielle does, oh, hi buddy. Guys, we have been blessed. Hold on. Kind of gently. Hi, buddy. Hi, Sammy. That's my dog. Hi, baby boy. Come here. He's my sweet old man. Hi, boo-boo. You guys get to know my silly nickname for him. Okay. Sorry about that. It's going to be a little bit of a chaotic video. No, don't do that. Okay. Hi, what do you want? What do you need? Okay, you can just... Okay, I'm gonna just kind of lightly... Okay, I'm gonna finish my video, buddy. Okay. Oh my goodness, my dog. Yeah, you guys, I can't believe I've gone so long on this channel without introducing my dog. But yeah, that is Sam, aka Samwise. But we always just call him Sam or Sammy or Sammers, Sammer Dog. I have a whole list of nicknames that we have called him over the years. I don't even know if he really knows his real name. But anyway, yeah. He's a cute little, He's like a cross between a Jack Russell Terrier and a lab. Yellow lab. So yeah, he's got all the cuteness. He mostly kind of has the craziness of a Jack Russell, but he's also got the coloring of a yellow lab. What, buddy? You coming back in here? Hi. I'm filming a video. So anyway, so I love this book so much. This is like kind of in the same vein as, yes, as Hanna Sandvig's cozy books, because it's also like a retelling of, like, she does retellings of fairy tales basically. But I would say, unlike Hanna, her retellings are very vague, I would say. Like, I know that, like, she, obviously they're listed as, like, you know, retelling of this fairy tale or whatever. Like, obviously this one is very much Snow White. I would say it's very, very loosely Snow White. Very loosely. Like, you have kind of the barest of bones of the story there. Like, you obviously have, like, a girl. She has an evil stepmother who wants to kind of be rid of her. I don't know if she really wants to, like, you know, like what in the original Snow White. But yeah. But I would say that it's like kind of very bare bones of the original story, because I've read some of her other entries into this series, and some of them I'm like, that's like almost an in name only type of situation. It's like barely there, but I don't complain really that much because her stories are really good. And also something that I absolutely loved about this, especially this version of Snow White, especially with a lot of controversy surrounding, I feel like, the story of Snow White in general, particularly with the new Disney adaptation, which I did not watch. Something that I would say is that I loved about this particularly was that the guy, no wait, hold on, sorry. I was like, wait, the guy saves the girl, and I love that. We need more of that in books where he saves her. And it's not that she's weak or anything, because I will say I love the character of Sophia, because, like, you know, it's not like she's like this weakling or anything, because, like, at one point, maybe spoiler alert, let's just say I'm not going to spoil it, but she basically gets into a situation where it's like, oh crud, I have to do something to get out of this, and she isn't sure if he's going to come and get her, and so she is kind of planning a way to, like, escape the situation that she's in, but she ends up not having to save herself. He comes and saves her, and it is like the most precious, sweetest thing ever. And I remember after I read that, I was like, this book felt so refreshing, because I have been, like, I didn't know I needed it, but I was like, I've been needing a book where the guy saves the girl, which, how revolutionary is that for me to have to say in this day and age, I get, because, yeah, anyway. So, I love it when the guy saves the girl. It's controversial. I don't care. I want more of that in my books, and thank you, Gabrielle, for giving us that. And if you don't like that, then don't read any of her books, because she has the guy save the girl a lot, and I love it. I love it. Anyway, I don't know if half of my audience turned off or not, but whatever. But I highly recommend it, because her stories give the absolute vibes, and especially because there's like a really cute like cafe throughout the Gallimere Chronicles, where like this young woman, or not really young anymore necessarily, but like this woman, she runs like a cafe in the town that everyone goes to, and it's just I want that cafe so much. Hello? I keep hearing my dog walking around, and I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? It's okay. Hope you guys don't mind. So the next cozy kind of fairy tale that I have is Seeing Beauty by Eliza Prokopovits. I think that I just call her Eliza P, because it is hard to say her last name. This one could also be a good winter read, but it's definitely got the cozy vibes down. I also have a reading video of reading like the first chapter of that. Yes. He likes to grumble a lot. I know, buddy. It's just me here right now, okay? Okay. But anyway, and then I also have a lot of reading videos of Hanna Sandvig's books. Okay, lay down. Okay. He just like groaned and just like sank down. So, okay. Don't bother me anymore, Sammy, please. I need to get through this video. At some point, I also do want to do a reading of the first chapter of this book. So, yeah. So the next one I haven't read this one in a long time, but I do remember it had some great, like, cozy vibes. The Little White Horse by Elizabeth Gouge, I think is how you say her last name. But this is such a great book. I really enjoyed this. It's definitely a classic. I think it was written in the 30s or 40s. And there is a movie called The Secret of Moonacre. You Are a Real One if you know that one. And that's actually how I found out about the book, was watching that movie. And spoiler alert, the movie and the book, very different from each other. I would say I enjoyed the book for what it is, and I enjoy the movie for what it is. I'm kind of that person who's like, I love either. I kind of love both. But yeah, the book definitely has some great, cozy, classic vibes. Okay, goodbye. He just left. But yeah, great cozy vibes. And then the last one in kind of like our cozy section, like cozy fairy tale section, is Beauty by Robin McKinley. I will forever recommend this. It's a great cozy, I feel like it can kind of be like read throughout the whole year, but definitely fall. It's a really good fall cozy read. It's based off of Beauty and the Beast. I need to do a reading video for this one too, because this one I have read, I don't know how many times, like maybe like 5 times, because it's so good. But yeah, really good Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it borrows a lot from the original fairy tale, so it's a really good, like, so good. And it reads like a classic, even though it was, I think it was published in 76, I believe, or 78. But yeah, it's really good for that. Let's see. Moving on, I think I'm going to get to, because I kind of have like a cozy pile, and then I have like another semi-cozy recommendation that's kind of like a different vibe, sort of, but I'm going to go to this next section, which is my more, I kind of call these like the spooky kind of Halloween type, you know, even though I don't really like celebrate Halloween, but like I do enjoy Halloween movies, even though I'm a Christian. But I like, for example, I love Charlie Brown, which I don't know if you guys have seen. I have my Charlie Brown Great Pumpkin shirt on. I also I enjoy like some minor like Halloween's like movies and stuff, kind of like the, you know, the classics, the stand-bys, like Casper. I love Casper. I love the movie Haunted Mansion, the original from 2003. The new one is okay, but the original from 2003 with Eddie Murphy, there's just something about it. I also really enjoyed Corpse Bride. That's kind of the only Tim Burton movie that I actually love. And then there's like this I really love watching like the old Universal like monster movies. They're so hokey. Like they're not even scary. They're just funny. So yeah, that's kind of like, yeah, I don't really like, obviously I don't like horror movies or scary movies because like, it leans too dark or demonic for me. I think the only like semi-scary like kind of Halloween movie that I actually enjoy is The Lost Boys, and that's an 80s movie. So yeah. But on the most part I just kind of like the spooky or spoopy kind of stuff. So anyway, that being said, I do have a couple of books that are like, there are only a couple on here that really kind of dive into like truly spooky, I guess, but they're kind of more like spoopy, I guess, but you know, anyway. So we're kind of getting into like more of the kind of darker, but like not dark in like a gross way, but anyway, you'll see. So this book I almost completely forgot about, but obviously I saw it on my shelf and I was like, yes. So this book, I need to do a reread of it because it's so, I just remember it having like the perfect vibe. So like years ago, I was at my local library and I was just like looking around. I was feeling in the fall mood, like fall, like the air was starting to chill. It was like, I was feeling like the turning of the leaves, like the crunchy leaf, like I was feeling it, you know, I was feeling the fall vibes. And I was just like, I really want something that has like that vibe. So I was looking around, and in the like YA, like junior books, like not amateur, like the juvenile book section, I found this book, The Twist Rose Key. Don't make me say the last name because I have no idea. I think this person is like from another country, like Norway or something. But that is the author's name. I'm not going to try to say it out loud. I'm so sorry. But it is so beautiful. Oh yeah, look at the end papers. And also it's very beautifully like it's got these cool like chapter headers or you know, like illustrations and stuff like that. It's really pretty. But yeah, I just remember like getting into it and reading it. It does have more of a winter vibe, I will say. But I remember when I started reading it, I was like, oh, I'm feeling the fall. I'm feeling the fall. So let me read to you the little blurb because it's been a while since I've read this. Like definitely more than a decade, and I need to reread it. Okay. Yeah. Something is wrong in the house that Lynn's family has rented. Lynn is sure of it. The clocks tick too slowly. Frost covers the flower bed, even in a rainstorm. And when a secret key marked Twist Rose arrives for her, Lynn finds a crack in the cellar, a gate to the world of silver. This frozen realm is the home of every dead animal that ever loved a child. Lynn is overjoyed to be reunited with Rufus, the pet she buried under the rose bush. But together they must find the missing Winter Prince in order to save Silver from destruction. They are not the only ones hunting for the boy this night. In the dark hides a shadow-lipped man, waiting for the last Winter Prince to be delivered into his hands. Exhilarating suspense and unforgettable characters await the readers of this magical adventure destined to become a classic. So yeah, it definitely has like a darker edge, I will say, because I do remember feeling like somewhat sad kind of at the end. But it's really a fascinating, like, I thought it was a really fascinating concept because it's like her pet that she had to bury. She meets him in this magical world and he actually can talk. And he like wears clothes. So all the animals like wear clothes and stuff like that. And like, yeah, I just remember it was really cute and fascinating. And I was just like, okay. So yeah, this is kind of an underrated one. I feel like not a lot of people know about this because it also is from a different country. But yeah. Oh, yep, I knew it. She's Norwegian. Yep, she's from Norway. So yeah, I highly recommend. Hello again, Sammy. I could hear you whining. Hi, baby. Not gonna lie, he also, something about Sam is he is a senior dog, so it is kind of like living with a toddler sometimes. I'm sorry, I'm talking about you, I know. Okay, all right, let's keep going because I don't want this video to be too long. So next up is, so also kind of in the spooky pile, I compiled some things that I felt like were kind of like more, they weren't really spooky, but they leaned into like a dark academia vibe. And dark academia, let's be real, is the vibe of fall pretty much for a lot of people. So first of all, Well Lit Shadows by my friend Rebekah Andress. This is her debut novel, and it got released back in August. And yeah, I hope that, you know, this will convince you to go and read it, go buy it. It's so cute. It's got really cool chapter headers as well. It's got a map in there. It's really good. And this one definitely has the dark academia vibes because it is about, it's kind of like, you know, about like these two different countries that are warring against each other. And it's about this girl who's a playwright who just wants peace. She wants the fighting to stop. And the queen of the enemy country that she is living in, kind of undercover, like her family is like, are like a part of this resistance, kind of similar to like the French resistance, I guess, back in like the 1940s. And our young hero, Demura Letzoff, she is commissioned by the queen of the enemy country, because the queen, like, heard about her writing and how she was a good writer. And so she's commissioned to write this play that is about hope. But Demira doesn't want to write the kind of hope that the queen wants. That will only lead to, like, more bloodshed. She instead wants to write about hope of, like, people actually conversing and talking and, like, not coming to blows and stuff like that. And so, yeah, it's really, really good. I love the idea that, like, she just wants people to just, like, talk things out and, like, not, you know, not have to go to war over things. I think one of my favorite lines in the book, and it's not really, like, a spoiler or anything, because obviously you're not gonna... Okay, Sammy. Sorry if you hear him in the background, but, you know. But something that I really love, it's kind of later in the book, and so it's not a spoiler because you're not going to know where the line is from, but, like, once you read the book, you'll fully understand. But I think one of my favorite lines in this book that kind of has to do with, like, you know, like, the two countries being at war, and just, you know, it's not like a line that's about, like, oh, this is absolutely going to solve our problem in this conflict, but I really loved the line, "We didn't have to end like this. No, we didn't have to end like this. And we don't have to continue on like this either." Ugh. That line, just, absolute cinema, even though it's a book. So anyway, definitely, if you want the fall dark academia vibes. And then the next one that has fall academia vibes is The Betrayal of Eden by Erin Phillips. I absolutely love this book. Oh my gosh. This is like, this is her best work. Also, look at the cute, so I ordered straight from her, and so it came with these. It came with a bunch of fun goodies. It's got a map in it. It's so cool. Like, this is so great. So this is book 1 in a trilogy called Grimoire and Key. And it is the first, obviously, in a trilogy, that is a retelling of the Count of Monte Cristo. So, yeah, there's going to be 2 more books, and I'm so excited about the new one that's going to come out later. I did a reading video for this book where I read the first chapter, and I also did the unboxing, so go look that up. But yeah, this one definitely hits those dark academia, like, vibes. Like, there's an academy, there's, like, just, like, I love how she describes the clothes. Just, yeah, everything. Yeah, absolutely love Erin Phillips' writing. This, especially after reading her other 2 books that she has out, I would say that this is definitely Erin Phillips' like, best work. Not that the other books are, like, terrible or anything, but it's just, like, you can just feel the absolute love and dedication and just the heart that she wrote into this, and it's just, absolute cinema. All right. Okay, now we're kind of getting into, like, the spooky vibes. So this book I have not actually read, but I'm planning to read it maybe this year. Hello. Sam's back. Come here. Come here. Come here, you silly boy. Hi. You are okay. Now go lay down. Don't talk to me like that. He talks back in his own way, and it's so funny. But anyway, so this book I have not actually read. It's the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis. But I kind of feel like it's, I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's kind of been made to read at Halloween, like in the fall time. I don't know. Another book that I just thought of that I have not read as well, and it's on my book cart somewhere, is Dracula. I feel like, you know, if you are wanting to read something that is more of, like, kind of leans into, like, kind of that scary vibe, but, like, it isn't, like, too far maybe, like, recommend those, even though I haven't read them, but they seem like they would go hard at this time, basically. So yeah, Screw Tape Letters. I've heard obviously a lot of good things. I love C.S. Lewis, so yeah. And then another book. So what's funny is I have read this book, and I talk about it in my TBR shelf tour. So If you want to go and watch that, you'll hear more about it. But this book, Jen, I have technically read it before, but that was years ago. And I really want to reread this book again, because it'll basically be like I'm kind of reading it for the first time again. But this book definitely kind of leans towards more of the spooky vibes. It's kind of like based in, it's kind of like leans more dystopian, I guess, because it's like hundreds and hundreds of years in the future. It's like Earth has been taken over by like kind of like demons and all of like these like creatures from legend, like vampires and werewolves and ghosts and stuff. But it does have like a Christian kind of like twist to it and theme. And I really, really loved it. I actually read this book for the first time, like, gosh, I don't know, like maybe like definitely over a decade ago, back when it was posted on a website called Figment. It was like a writing website. Also, who remembers Figment? I'm thinking about making a video about that, because if you know what Figment is, you are the real MVP. But yeah, I definitely remember enough about it to be like, yeah, I feel like it could hit those kind of like spoopy kind of fall vibes that you're going for. But yeah, I really, really enjoy it a lot. But yeah. And I can't wait to reread it to kind of familiarize myself. All right, we're getting down to the wire here. All right, so next on like kind of the spooky, spoopy vibes, Nightweaver by R.M. Gray. This one is like the perfect fall, kind of, I would say more Halloween read. I think this one I will say kind of does have a lot more like kind of gore and violence. But what's funny is like, I remember when I first read it, I was like, man, this is pretty violent, but I'm not really bothered by it. And it has kind of like a bit of and I think that she is a Christian author. Well, she's not like an author of like writing explicitly Christian fiction, but I believe that she is a Christian. And she adds a lot of like kind of subtle allegory and themes in Nightweaver. Like there's a character in it that is known as the True King. And there's like a kind of a theme, like a phrase that's repeated that's like the True King sees. Love that. I love it so much. But yeah, and so, but like mainly this story is like about pirates. It's about a young pirate named Aster who gets captured by a group of Nightweavers, like her and her family. And basically the idea is that pirates fled land over 600 years ago, and they have been on the seas. The seas are like their safe place. And now Aster steps foot on land for the very first time, and she is brought to like this beautiful, like opulent estate known as Bloodgrave Manor. Oh my gosh, it's like all the fall vibes. It's definitely got the Haunted Mansion vibes going for it. And how R.M. Gray, or Rebekah is her real name, how she likes to describe the book is she's like, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean meets Downton Abbey, is how she describes it. And I think that that is very apropos. And also the second book in the trilogy, Star Chaser, that is about to come out November 4th. So yeah. But yeah, I highly recommend this for fall reading. I think it could also work for maybe like, you know, summer, but I feel like it's more of a fall read. Sammy? Okay. He's just always bothered. But yeah, this one, definitely recommend. Nightweaver, I have read it like twice. I have read the independent published version twice, because she independently published it in 2023. And then I have yet to read the new version, which is the deluxe edition. So, but I will. And then the next one is actually also a book by Erin Phillips. This one is A Bond of Briars. It is a dark fantasy retelling of the Book of Ruth from the Bible. And this one, oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah, so she describes it as like a dark fantasy with cottagecore vibes. And I'm gonna already kind of like, what is it? I'm already kind of like give a little bit of a content warning. I mean, I kind of did a little bit with like Nightweaver about how it does have little bit more gore. It's kind of like upper YA. I would say probably the same thing about this one, very upper YA, but not because these two have spice or anything. It's kind of more of like the yeah, like I said, kind of violence, I guess. So this one is no spice, by the way. So everything that I'm recommending also is like no spice, because I don't read spice. That's a whole thing altogether. But anyway, and this one, something about Erin Phillips that I'll probably just like say right now is that her whole like kind of mission as an author, she's a Christian author, by the way. Don't know. I mean, obviously, based on the Book of Ruth. Erin Phillips is a Christian author who explicitly does write stuff with like biblical themes, Christian themes, obviously. But sadly, like there are certain other Christians that like kind of, ostracize her work, I guess, or like unfollow her, or just like, no, we're not going to read your stuff or publish your stuff or whatever. Because Erin Phillips specifically likes to tell dark stories that shine the light. And I personally do think that we need a lot of Christian authors who are willing to go to those dark places and write that kind of stuff, but obviously not stuff that's like gratuitous or like, because there is a line, obviously, but like obviously, but Erin Phillips is not afraid of like showing that dark stuff, because she writes for people. I think how she's explained it on her Instagram. Hi, Sammy. She's explained it on her Instagram that she likes to tell stories for people who have made mistakes, who don't feel like not really like, because I feel like anybody can read like, like cozy, sweet stuff. But like, she wants to write stories for like, particularly for girls who have been like kind of beaten and battered down by life. And they don't want to turn to stuff that has like smut in it, like ACOTAR or Throne of Glass, or I don't know, anything that's written by Sarah J. Maas. Oh my God, I could go on about that. But she wants to write like alternatives to that, and also stories that don't glorify darkness, but like they show the darkness, but they show that the darkness can and always will be overcome by light. So I will say this book definitely goes there when it comes to darkness. So I will say like it's not for everyone in that respect, because just to let you know, this book is about a young woman, the Ruth character, who is I think there's a different word she uses for it, but essentially she is a witch, and in order for her to get like her magic, she is bonded to a spirit who uses her blood to make these bargains and pacts. Here's the thing though, Erin Phillips makes it very, very clear that what this girl does is not good. Like, that it's bad what she's doing. Blood magic, what she's doing, everything she's doing is bad, but she does it but she writes it in such a way to where it's like, we're not like the main character, like, so like the main love interest for this and everything, like he doesn't judge her. He kind of like gently like leads her to see the perspective that, hey, what you're doing actually is bad, and this spirit that you're bonded with is actually evil, and you need to become unbonded with it or from it. And it's got such a good like redemption storyline, and kind of showing like through the Boaz character what Jesus did for us to like redeem us. And so I think that it's great. I know that there are quite a few people who would look at it and just, be like, absolutely not, no, and it's sad that a lot of people have treated Erin Phillips and her books like that. I think that they should give them a chance, but again, not everyone is meant to read her books, and that's fine. But I think people should give her a chance and not just judge her, because like I used to be a Christian who did kind of have that judgment, and like I had that what is it, kind of like that very religious mindset, like kind of by the book, by the law. And and it's not like I'm open to reading anything, or like, obviously, because I'm still very, very careful with what I read, but I'm not like as like closed off, especially to like things that are a bit more edgier that Christians are writing, and I want to give, I want to give especially like Christians like Erin a chance. So anyway, all right, now we're down to the wire, guys. We're down to the wire. Next is kind of more like cozy mystery. And so these books, or just stories, I highly recommend in case you're in like a cozy fall kind of mystery mood. I recommend Nancy Drew anytime for fall reading. Especially if you're wanting to read something quick and easy. These are always like 20 chapters. They're super fast and fun and just, yeah. And they got that nostalgia. And then next, also Sherlock Holmes. Definitely just wanted to recommend him and his just being just Sherlock Holmes. I feel like that's the perfect fall read, and this is like part 1. I have volume 2 over here somewhere, but this is volume 1 in like the complete Sherlock Holmes stories. And then next, I guess I could have done this earlier when I was talking about cozy fantasy, but I have Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Lord of the Rings, I feel like, is like if you're looking for like a long reading challenge, yes. But I feel like Lord of the Rings isn't always completely cozy. I feel like this one might be like probably the coziest, but I just wanted to recommend, because Lord of the Rings. And then this one I'm actually starting to reread again because I love The Hobbit so much. It's such an easy read. This one definitely gives the fall vibes so hard. Like, yeah, it's definitely got some amazing cozy fall vibes because, yes. I mean, let me just read you the first sentence of The Hobbit. You can't tell me that this doesn't give fall. In a hole in the ground there lived a hobbit, not a nasty, dirty, wet hole filled with the ends of worms and an oozing smell, nor yet a dry, bare, sandy hole with nothing in it to sit down on or to eat. It was a hobbit hole, and that means comfort. It means comfort, y'all. It means comfort. So, yeah, I highly recommend. It's such a short and easy read. But yeah, it's such a fun adventure, and it's just, all the things. And then last but not least, this is another book that I have not read yet. I think like the only book in this stack that I actually truly had not read at all, because technically with Jen, I had read that before. So like obviously I hadn't read the Screw Tape Letters. Yeah, that's pretty much it actually. So I hadn't read the Screw Tape Letters, and also I haven't read every single Sherlock Holmes story, but I've read a couple. But this book I have not read yet. I really want to get to this series, but it is a series that that my mom has read, or better yet, she's actually listened to the whole audiobooks of all the series. And I definitely trust my mom when it comes to book recommendations as well. And I've known about this for a very long time. So without further ado, I would definitely recommend At Home in Mitford. This is the first book in the Mitford series by Jan Karon. Oh my goodness. I know, like, a lot of people would probably be like, that just sounds like a more grown up or, like, kind of, I know I've kind of thought this before, but, like, an old person series. I'm gonna slap the camera. I mean, I'm not gonna literally do it, but I'm like, no. Just because it is written by an older lady, and, like, I feel like kind of more older people, I guess, read this because it does kind of have that vibe. I don't care. It's amazing. The story is amazing. And you want to know how I know the story? Because obviously my mom would listen to the audiobooks and she would tell me about them, and I'd be like, this sounds amazing. And also, if you were a Christian homeschooler like me and you listened to the audio dramas that were put out by Focus on the Family Radio Theater, you would have listened to the audio drama for Mitford and loved it, which I need to re-listen to that as well. But yes, we have this series, this wonderful, wonderful series. So I do know, like, in general what it's about, and obviously my mom has told me, like, bits of the story and everything. But yeah, and at some point I do want to read the series for myself. But let me just read you the blurb on the back, and maybe you will reconsider, especially if you are someone who loves cozy, like, this is like a sweet, cozy, small town story, basically. Like, the whole series is, essentially. And it follows, I think, like, most of the series does follow, like, one particular character, but I think there are a couple of books that follow other characters as well, but don't quote me on that. But this story is about one particular person, and let me read you the blurb. It's easy to feel at home in Mitford. In these high green hills, the air is pure, the village is charming, and the people are generally lovable. This was also written in the 90s, by the way. Yet Father Tim, the bachelor rector, wants something more. Enter a dog the size of a sofa who moves in and won't go away. Add an attractive neighbor who begins wearing a path through the hedge. Now stir in a lovable but unloved boy, a mystifying jewel thief, and a secret that's 60 years old. Suddenly, Father Tim gets more than he bargained for, and readers get a rich provincial comedy in which mysteries and miracles abound. That's another thing I loved about the story, is that it's like written by a Christian lady and has Christian themes and messaging. I mean, obviously it's about, I don't know if he's like a priest necessarily. I mean, it says rector, but yeah, he's, you know, basically a pastor, essentially, in this sweet little small town. And I just think that it's so precious, and there's like a sweet kind of romance with his neighbor, Cynthia. Yeah, Father Tim and Cynthia. But yeah, I cannot wait to read this, honestly. But yeah, it's so sweet. And also, like, the dog that comes into his life is, like, so funny because the dog won't obey him unless he quotes scripture to the dog. It's so funny. And he names the dog Barnabas. Also, that's literally chapter 1. And also, at some point, I'm wanting to take the map and, like, color it in, because look at the map of Mitford. This is, like, a sweet, cute, cozy, small town story with, like, mystery and romance and all the things, and it takes place in, like, the 90s, which, honestly, to me, a small town in the 90s just sounds so cozy. But yeah, which, let me read you the first sentence as well of this one. He left the coffee-scented warmth of the Main Street grill and stood for a moment under the green awning. The honest cold of an early mountain spring stung him sharply. He often noted the minor miracle of passing through a door into a completely different world, with different smells and attractions. It helped to be aware of the little things in life, he told himself, and he often exhorted his congregation to do the same. That's the first couple of lines. And something that I really loved about it is I listened to like a sample from, I think it was like the abridged audiobook that was on Audible. And I don't know if if it was read by Jen Karon or she just read like the foreword. But Jen Karon, it was like a special edition where she talked about like writing the story, and she talked about how like she had told her agent or her editor or somebody at the publishing company, she was like, you know what, I want to write like a sweet and cozy story that's about a pastor in a small town, and like there's also no sex and there's no cussing. And like her agent or like whoever it was that she was talking to was like, yeah, good luck with that. And now this series has like, actually now she just published her 15th book in this series. It's like nationwide, I think it's worldwide, basically phenomenon. Like everyone loves this story. You know, obviously, you know, the 15th book was just published. My mom's actually listening to the audiobook, and yeah, like it became like a huge success, and you know, multiple sequels and everything, and all because she kind of stuck to that standard of writing, and she just wrote this really sweet story that she felt like the Lord had put on her heart. So yeah, just wanted to share that. So anyway, those are the books that I recommend for fall. I know this video went way longer than I wanted it to. Actually, I think it's like 49 minutes. Oh my gosh, I only meant it to be like a 20-minute video. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you felt at home and cozy and comfortable during that. I'm sorry about the you know, the times that I got up and, like, you know, kind of distracted by my dog, but, you know, he's my dog, so I'm trying to make sure that he's okay and doing all right. So anyway, I think I'm going to finally get some lunch and drink a lot more water because I've been talking for almost an hour. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoy these fall reads. Yeah, and again, I'm kind of sorry about, like, I think I had said in a post that I was going to do the wing feather video and, like, release it this month. But honestly, if I do release it, it probably won't be until next month. But I'm just going to think and pray about it, because I want to be able to make videos that I feel like are good, not just, like, for me to make, but, like, for you guys to consume. And I kind of was feeling a little bit of a check kind of in my spirit and kind of in my mind when I was thinking about, like, I was just like, do I just only have negative things to say? Because I don't want to just be talking about, like, the negative. I want to kind of stay positive, and, like, I also don't want it to be a video where I'm just bashing a book series and an author for no reason, because that's also not nice. So I don't know. Just kind of, like, opening up to that, and also just to kind of be a little bit vulnerable. Like, there's also kind of just some stuff going on in my life right now, and I just was thinking to myself, like, I just kind of want to get back and just do just stuff that doesn't take a lot of brain power to prepare, you know, like this. Like, I just pulled books off my shelf and just started the camera and was just like, okay, here we go, you know. And obviously I want to do reading videos where I take a book and, you know, read the first chapter or, like, a little excerpt or something. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to just keep doing. And obviously I do want to do bigger videos where I talk about something. So obviously, like, for example, there's another long form video idea that I had that I think I want to do in, like, 2 parts, where it was me talking about the Ranger's Apprentice series. That was an option to vote on, by the way. And when I had the 2 options, voting about, like, either doing Wing Feather Saga or Ranger's Apprentice. So I think I'll still do the Ranger's Apprentice one, but I'm going to think about the Wing Feather one for a little bit. But yeah, anyway, excuse me, leave a comment down below letting me know, I don't know, questions, comments, concerns, all the things. Yeah, just engage in this video however you want. Excuse me. But yeah, and also I'm going to try to leave links down below to, like, all the different authors that I showed. Well, at least the ones who have social media presence. I'm pretty sure I don't have to leave like an Instagram or anything for J.R.R. Tolkien, because it's you should know who this is. But yeah, I'll list, you know, all the authors who have, like, a social media presence or have, like, a website down below. So that way, if you want to get these books or you want to learn more or engage with them, it's always helpful, especially for, like, Erin Phillips, for example. Like, I really want her, and also, like, Hanna Sandvig and, you know, whoever, to, like, be able to have, you know, find more followers or, you know, people who will read their books and stuff. So yeah, anyway, so you'll find all the fun extra goodies in the description down below, which honestly, I don't know if anyone ever actually is looking in the descriptions of not just my videos, but any YouTube videos. But I actually kind of low-key love writing stuff for my YouTube descriptions. Like, I put a lot of work into that because it's just kind of fun and relaxing for me. So I hope that you check that out. But anyway, just wanted to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day, and just thank you for your thoughts and prayers. And yeah, Lord bless you guys. Have a great, cozy fall day, and I love you. Bye.